All right. Shalom Malakia. First and foremost, I give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Akakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to all Akimabel that's doing the work in sincerity and charity with humiliation all across the four winds. To you a salute. This is the brother Yashawama from the GMS Bahamas camp, back at you with a brief lesson. And what I want to touch on is practice. The title of this lesson will be Practice Makes Progress. Right? Practice makes progress. And looking at how things are done in the world these days, is that a lot of times people want to achieve something by doing nothing. How could you do that? Case in point, because when we do these lessons, we have to first look inwardly first, and then we could look at others. Speaking from my personal experience, I wanted to start learning how to play the lyre, the harp. The common name is harp, but the biblical name is the lyre, right? Lier. And I was looking to, because I have a music background, I was looking to try it out. So when I looked at it, I was like, hold on now. Just a couple of months ago, I said I wanted to learn how to play the harmonica. So I bought a harmonica, and from then to now, I never picked it up. To say, well, actually practice with it. Yeah, I blew it every now and again, but not to say, well, practice it, right? So I say, if I didn't practice with the harmonica, what the hell makes you think you can practice, with the harp? So I say, wow. So I heard a particular melody I wanted to play. So I picked up the harmonica and I said, well, okay, let me try to play that. Couldn't do it right away. So I practiced and I practiced and I played and I played. Just this day alone, I did that. And, I was able to play a mediocre version of the tune. I mean, nonetheless, it was better than when I initially started. And I said to myself, wow, if I used to practice this every day, playing that tune would have been a breeze. From 3 months ago to now, playing that would have been a breeze, right? So I sit down and I say, boy, practice makes progress. I have the item I need to achieve the goal that I'm looking forward to. But having the tools to do it and not utilizing the tools don't make no friggin' sense. You have the answers. But you just don't do it. And when you look at it from the spiritual sense, a lot of times that's what we tend to do. Example, these Christians in the world, they had Bibles for 20, 30 years, but they never use it. They're right there collecting dust on the barrel or in the back trunk of the vehicle or on the dashboard, collecting dust. They have the tool they need, to teach them salvation and to teach them of our power, but they don't use it. So another thing I observed when I was playing that harmonica, when I learned the melody, I was eager to go and play it for somebody, right? To teach them what I learned. And when you look at it from the spiritual sense, that's just how it is with this truth. When you come across a scripture or you come across a breakdown and you understand that breakdown, even when you first learn the name of the Lord, you eager to go teach it. Because why? You now know something what you always wanted to do or what you never knew before, so now you want to teach it. And that's how it is inside this truth. But if you don't utilize it, if you don't read the scriptures, if you don't do your studying, how would you be able to teach? Or how would you, you'll just be stagnant. Practice makes progress. And the first precept I want to touch on is this Sirach chapter 20 and 31, right? Because when it comes down to something you know, it's especially when it comes down to the truth, what you learn, you want to teach. You see? And it's better to hide your foolishness than it is to hide your wisdom. You see? So Sirach chapter 20 and 31. It reads, better is he that hideth his folly than a man that hideth his wisdom. You see that? So it's better for you to hide your foolishness than it is to hide your wisdom. It's better for you to utilize the tools that were given to you to achieve the goal that you want. You see? It's better if the Most High give you this spirit, when the Most High put the spirit inside you, utilize it so you can get your salvation. What's the point in having the wisdom and not sharing it? What's the point in having the wisdom and not sharpening it? You see, because when you get a sword, if you don't wield that sword, yeah, it would stay sharp, but then it can start to get rusty because it's not being wielded. When you have that sword, when you wield that sword and you slicing and dicing, the sword can get dull. So what, you can just keep slicing and don't sharpen, take the time to sit back and sharpen your sword. You sharpening your sword is you sitting back, self-examining, rebuking yourself, self-examining yourself and sharpening yourself for the next battle. You see? What's the point in you sharpening your sword every day? You keeping it clean, but you never wield it. You never practice with it. What's the point in that? You see? And when you look at it, that's just how we be throughout our daily lives. You see? Not wielding the sword is just like not wielding the sword that the Most High gave you, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It's just as bad as not practicing it. You have the wisdom, but you don't wield the sword. You wielding the sword, but you don't have the wisdom to wield the sword. You see? So now you just swinging blindly. It says, better is he that hideth his folly than a man that hideth his wisdom. Verse 32. Necessary patience in seeking Yahweh is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. So when you seeking the Lord, it requires patience as well. You see? Like I say, my example with the harmonica. I learned what I learned like within an hour or two, right? But then, if I was to apply that over a course of a period of time, if I have patience and practice it over a course of a period of time, I'd be better later on. Same that way with the spirit. It says, necessary patience in seeking Yahweh is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. So when you patiently follow the Lord, day to day, you learn something new. You read a different scripture, you read a different precept, right? You get done, you watch videos from the apostles and others and get the breakdowns of different things. You add to your spiritual bank account. You see? You using your patience and you using your leisurely time, to do the work of the Lord, to sharpen your sword. So when camp day come, you could go there and wield the sword. You see? Necessary patience in seeking Yahweh is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. But if you don't have that necessary patience in following the Lord, or sticking with the thing, you can be just as lost in the end as he was in the beginning. It don't make no sense. See, just like I say, again with my harmonica, I had that about 3 months ago. I never picked it up. And from 3 months ago to now, from 3 months up until the time I was practicing, there was no progress made on that whatsoever. It just was there collecting dust. And we should not let our wisdom collect dust, because the Most High will take it away from you. You see you ain't doing nothing with it, well, you don't require this. You ain't using it, so what you have it for? You see? I want to get one of the precepts of one of my favorite books, the book of James, right? It says, this James chapter 1, starting at verse 2, it says, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. You see? But let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So patience is a necessary virtue when it comes down to growth. When you plant a seed, it don't grow right away. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes discipline. You see, because as that plant grows, you nurture it accordingly. When it's a seedling, you spritz it with water. And as it grows, you can douse it with water. And when it reaches its full potential, then you can water it accordingly. You see, patience oftentimes is a delicate process. You see, you can't rush it. My father always used to teach me, haste makes waste. Because when you hasty to do a thing, you will find yourself fucking it up and have to do it all over again. But there may be a situation like where the beautiful lesson with a brother Tazaya one brought out in camp yesterday. At Camp Day, what he went into, you only get one shot. You see? So if you only get one shot, you're going to try to rush through that. No, you're going to be patient and analyze and move carefully. You see? Sometimes you only get one shot. And if you hastily, you waste that chance, you waste that opportunity, and now you're fucked. You see? When that Vanessa first came around, right? When that first came around, a lot of people was hastily to go take that. But we patiently sat back and we watched and we prophesied and we watched the masters of the people and we prophesied some more. We patiently doing the work of the Lord during that time when the world was in chaos. And at the end of it, because our people trusted in the rod of Egypt, right? And at the end of it, they were made to be fools. They found out they was hoodwinked, bamboozled, hornswoggled. You see? They perverted themselves and tainted themselves with the image of the beast. Because why? They lacked patience, they lacked faith, they lacked discipline. They lacked practicing the works of the Most High. They didn't want to listen to the words of the Most High. They lacked wisdom and they didn't seek it. Hosea 4:6 say, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Right? And our people didn't have the knowledge, to go back and do the research on the thing. Right? And when you further, think about it, they didn't trust in the Lord. They didn't trust in the Lord. They lacked spiritual enlightenment, I want to say, because when the prophets were there on the highways and the byways teaching the word of the Lord, they walk past and they don't even consider. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And when we remember this precept in the book of Isaiah, it says, wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of thy time. And we coming into times now where ain't nothing stable in this world. Everything out of whack. Because why? Our people don't practice keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You see? It all starts from small, in order for you to build discipline, a large amount of discipline, you have to start with small wins. When I say start with small wins, even if it's just making up your bed in the mornings or not going to bed with dishes inside your sink or, doing 10 push-ups or 10 sit-ups. All those are small wins, small goals, builds discipline, consistency. You see? But I didn't want to make this lesson too long. Practice makes progress. And we have to remember we're in the times now. We got to keep our discipline. When it comes down to spiritual work, when it comes down to keeping our bodies intact, keeping our body in shape to the best of our abilities, exercising, not being a couch potato. We have to do all of us have to do our due diligence to make our calling and election sure. But with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Akakadash, Shalom.